exciting day because today is world premiere of the Voyage to the Dawn trailer, which is really great. Um, and I feel like I have to do so many videos. I mean, I haven't even analyzed the theatrical trailer yet. I have to do the clips. There are these great behind-the-scenes videos, a lot of spoilers, a lot of little new interviews, and I just can't do it all. But so I'm just gonna do it step by step. Gonna do as much as possible. Um, so if you want to see it all, just go to NarniaWeb and you'll find it all there. It's really worth your while. There's some really great footage there, so just check it out. Um, but this is my trailer analyzer, so that's what I'm gonna be focusing on right now. And yeah, let's just begin. Um, so I'm not gonna do blue screen this time because I just don't have the time, and I want to do the clips also today. So we'll see how far how that can work out. So yeah, don't expect this great editing or something. I just don't have the time to do it. It's really a shame, but hell, hopefully I can do it properly with silver chair. So okay, let's go. Okay, first of all, there's Aslan's country, and wow, does that look amazing. I mean, that's just fabulous. This, you know, we get to see a lot of new shots in this scene. I'm not gonna pause it every time, um, but it looks great, just amazing. I mean, you know, with the beach, and you know, visually this film looks, again, I've said this 100 million times, but visually this film looks stunning, and maybe this is one of the most amazing shots in the entire trailer. But yeah, I think this will be one of the most beautiful scenes. I think this will be the best scene in all three films. Uh, by the looks of it, they absolutely nailed it. So yeah, I think this will be great. Then there is it with the mountains, love it. And then there's Aslan's shadow. I mean, all these shots look amazing. And now Aslan is roaring, and some kind of tunnel appears, which I think is a tunnel that leads back to our world. Because you see in this shot, Reaper Chief isn't there, so I think the scene is in the trailer is heavily edited. And you know, the synchronization with Aslan's mouth isn't always correct, so you can clearly see that. You probably won't even say all these lines, and they're probably just for the trailer. Um, but I think, you know, first we'll see Reaper Jeep going through Aslan's country, and then he'll roar a tunnel through the wave, through which the Pevensies go back home, and I love it. That's you know, that there is this picture that looks amazing, and it's kind of like this. So yeah, I love it. Dawn trailer. This shot looks a bit too handheld for me. It's the camera isn't very steady, so I'm not really a fan of this shot in a trailer. But hell, it could work out in the film very well. You know, it maybe the entire scene is handheld, so then it works well. But in this trailer, I feel like it's sort of a weak shot. The shot we've seen, it says King and Queen. We already knew that. Reaper Chief looks amazing. And then there's the dragon's eye, and I know it doesn't look 100% realistic. The next shot of the dragon looks unrealistic to me. I mean, that dragon looks terrible. But in this shot, and that's the feeling I have over the entire visual, um, you know, visuals in this film. My idea is that it doesn't look exactly realistic, but that's what I love, because all these fancy films, you know, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter and stuff, they all want to make it look realistic. And that's not, that, you know, that fits Lord of the Rings beautifully. I mean, I'm very happy they did that. But in Narnia, it's not supposed to be realistic, it's supposed to be magical, which is of course what it's all about. Especially this book is about magic and discovery, so I don't think it should look realistic. Um, uh, in terms of something that could actually exist. That's not what it is supposed to be. But it should of course look realistic in their, communication with all the other actors, and it should look believable, but not necessarily realistic. And I think that's very important, and most of these digital effect shots we're seeing here seem to imply that they actually got that, and they're really doing a good job with visual effects. Now the next shot is terribly ugly. I mean, the dragon, and somehow the dragon looks unrealistic, and somehow the sand, because this is a beach, and the sand looks like stone, because he's not really. Also in the next shot, Aslan's is placing his foot on the ground, and you can see that somehow the sand isn't moving. So these shots are completely 100% digital, and I think it shows. So I'm not really happy with, especially this shot, because the dragon looks fake too. Not really happy with it. And then this shot of Aslan, I mean, just wow. He doesn't. Again, if this shot to me, it looks almost like it's a painting. It's so beautiful, and it doesn't look realistic. So maybe the visual effects in the film, the scene will look a bit off, but just as a frame on its own, this shot of Aslan is just amazing, and he looks so majestic, and so yeah, Aslan. So I'm very happy with it. And then yeah, wait, I didn't pause it right. Yeah, this shot of Eustace diving into the clouds, amazing. You know, Dark Island looks great. It has all these columns and stuff going up, and yeah, that looks just amazing. Really well done. You know, again, it looks great. The visualization of the Dark Island looks amazing to me. You know, it's not just a dark cloud. It's with all these kind of columns, and you know, the smoke is taking shapes. So yeah, that looks great. And then this shot, I think this is Romandus Island, and I mean, just whoa. I mean, with the waterfalls, it looks like the most beautiful place on earth. I mean, and with the dragon flying, yeah, this shot looks absolutely stunning, stunning. And this shot, you know, if I hadn't heard of Narnia and someone would just show me this shot, I would think, yeah, that's a classic fantasy film. You know, with everything. I mean, it has a dragon, it has this beautiful scenery. You know, this frame alone makes me want to see this film, just to see how all the other frames compare to this. Just, yeah, this looks so amazing. I can hardly describe it. So, seeing this? See, and this time the Minotaur is actually, it's a different shot than in the previous trailer, but it's the same line he's giving. But you know, right now it's the editing is different, and you know, with the shot of him actually saying it is, instead of that clumsy something I said, and he tapped the other one on his back, and you know, the other crew member, and he tapped him on his back, and it just didn't look realistic, because it wasn't the right shot, and his lip synchronization was all over the place. So yeah, now it actually does look pretty good. I mean, his lips are moving a little bit too much. I think it's more like, is it something I've said? And yeah, you know, it doesn't really look that great, but yeah, I think this is a vast improvement, and the joke actually works. You know, also they give it time to breathe in this trailer, with Caspian's reaction coming after this, with him laughing and the crew laughing, and that all makes that the film, that the joke actually works in the trailer, which is really important, of course. See, we've seen this. Okay, I have to say, the visual effects improved immensely. Do you remember the frame the effects in the first trailer? I mean, the smoke was just completely, yeah, it wasn't smoke to me. It was more like some sort of almost flying liquid or something, like when you drop ink in water. That it looked not like smoke at all, and you know, they vastly improved it. Also, the Dark Island is dark, which is very important, and in the previous shot it was green and white. In the previous trim it was green and white, which didn't work out at all, and now it's actually more black and green and a little bit white in the smoke itself, and that works very well. I think visually this looks good, but still of course the themes aren't right. And then we have a new shot of him, Edmund. I think he's standing on the top of the mast, and he sees the White Witch fly by.
Steal the light from this world. The only power to stop them. That sword
Sting,
it was delayed at
nothing very special.
Only then can a true power be released.
Now, the map. I mean, it's described in the book as an actually very special and magical map, you know, with every little detail in it. But how they visualize it in the film is again a great example of how great the development team is visualizing Narnia. I mean, this very small version of all the islands, I mean, that looks great. And here, I mean, with the clouds and all, it looks so amazing, this shot. Too bad it's all ruined by Koriakin's cheesy lines, you know, with his whole that sword must be laid at Aslan's stable, only then can their true power be unleashed. That's like, oh. I mean, I hate it when he says stuff like that. I mean, that's so cheesy and I don't want it in this film. But hell, he's doing it anyway, so I better come to terms with it before I see the film. But still, the scene itself, by the looks of it, it looks great. And this shot of Aslan is so extremely magical. It looks so tremendously realistic. I haven't seen this effects this beautiful and overwhelming since I saw Gollum in Lord of the Rings, which was like, you know, Gollum was like a huge step forward, like all the effects in Lord of the Rings. Gollum was a huge step forward for you know, visual effects in general. And I think this is almost just as staggering. I've never seen such a lifelike lion, and it's completely CGI, so that's amazing.